Hey everyone, welcome to the Permission Portal with Paul Mark and Laz. I'm Paul Mark.
And I'm Laz. Let's open the portal.
Our guest today is my go-to source for all things Palo Santo. She's the mastermind behind Maison Palo Santo and a fantastic sound healer who creates luxurious meditation experiences and is healing the planet one tree at a time. Welcome, Mimi Dara, to the portal.
Mm. Thank you guys. I'm so excited to be here. I feel like I'm entering
Yeah,
into
you're
this
coming in.
world.
Okay, so we were talking about this earlier. You have so many names. Like whenever you're on, you will say Mimi D. I'm Mimi D. And Cole calls you Mimi Palo Santo. And then, and then you were just talking about being Mimi Laser. So, and I just call you Mimi, like share. It's just one word, just Mimi.
Perfect. I'm not going to say my whole government name here online for the whole world, but just know that it is two lines on the passport and it is a combination of all of the cultures in my family. But Mimi is short for Mireille, which is my first name, which is a French name like Mireille Mathieu. She's a singer. You might have heard of her, but that's the closest reference that I can give. So Mimi is a nickname that in French anyway means like cutie pie. Mimi, elle est Mimi. Yeah, so she's cute, you know.
You're a Mimi.
So yeah. So Mimi D. That's it.
Let's go.
You're a cutie pie. You're Mimi D.
hmm
So Mimi D, why Palo Santo?
Why not? No, I'm just kidding. So Palo Santo actually, sometimes I think that following my heart has landed me in trouble a lot, but it's something that I've never regretted about myself because it's brought me even more beautiful experiences. And one of those is through Palo Santo. And I was using Palo Santo at the house in Ecuador. I was still working in the restaurants. I was a bartender and a server and then a captain. I ran the door at a very high-end restaurant, Michelin star restaurant in New York City. So kind of made it to the top of the chain of hospitality in that world. And at the same time, I was also looking to make a deeper impact with my life in the chapter in the collaborative piece that we wrote called Sacred Spaces, where I talk a little bit about the journey from the restaurant to Palo Santo business. Basically, the theme is that I had this fear that it was like literally I could feel it in my stomach and in my body and my throat of unfulfilled potential. And I know that I have a deep, deep, deep love to see people happy and to make them laugh, you know? And what I loved about the restaurant is that to me, I worked with everybody that was on Broadway, dancers, singers, actors, and I was in that role. And it was kind of like I was the actress, but I was acting like a restaurant person. And so I fulfilled that creative process through that job. And I got to like turn it on and put on a show and, do the whole thing. But after a while, it got tired, you know, and the sitcom was getting over and the lines were no longer funny. And, the habits that go along with that type of industry are really hard on the body and eventually really hard on the soul. So during that process, I was bringing Palo Santo back from Ecuador in suitcases and selling it at the restaurant. And just for fun. I was like the new Jack City of Palo Santo. I had like the code, I had like the Palo Santo inside. I was selling it from my locker. Um, we were starting to make candles with the essential oil in the apartment. I used to buy beeswax at the market on 14th Street from this guy named Andrew that had hives on his rooftop. And we would mix it with the essential oil with my partner Red, who is from Casablanca, Morocco. So all of the scents were very like Arabian Nights. They were very like sexy and rich and strong, like us, like so much personality. And we were selling them on Etsy. I was convinced that I would make $1 million on Etsy by selling 1 million sticks of Palo Santo at $1 a stick. I had no idea. Then there's the 30% cost and the ads and everything at the end. It was like, it's like, okay, it was my first like tippy toe into the e-commerce. Like, you know, I was like, okay, fine. It's really great. I'm selling this in person. At this time as well, one of our side things is we were designing Moroccan carpets. So I got funded by this nonprofit called Kiva. I would draw the rugs inspired by Berber designs and Red. had this connection and relationship with this cooperative of weavers in Tesnacht, where another friend of his lived, and we were doing this rug trade business and doing it on the side on the weekends in New York, selling Palo Santo, selling the candles. And I actually did one big event in New York that I got picked up by just by chance by Planned Parenthood, who found my candle, I guess because of a keyword search term, femme, the woman candle. And I got invited to this event where I set up this whole like Moroccan lounge and people were coming in and they were buying things. And I was talking to them and I was like, oh my God, this is so weird because I'm like talking to people in a context that doesn't have to do with like wine or food or just talking shit with my friends, right? So it was like the first time I had this kind of like professional energy inside me. It was a weird feeling. And I realized that I could help people at the same time. So when we got funded by Kiva, which is again is a nonprofit that gives 0% interest loans for small businesses from, from $500 all the way up now to 25,000 all around the world. It's an awesome organization to support. And I've actually been funded by them twice and hopefully working on the third. But it's interesting because we got to do some social good in Morocco by helping rebuild just like one very small wall in a school, a super micro project. And I was like addicted at that point. I was like, okay, I want to create things. I want to help people. I want to do it on the side. I was doing it with my partner. It was full of love. Like it was just like passionate and colorful and it smelled amazing. And everything was just very creative. And honestly, the Palo Santo was a way for me to meet people. I would gift it too. And I would meet amazing. I have had the gift of having amazing friends. My first customer for my candles was my dear friend Cherish, who is makes the music for some of the meditations, who is an amazing, I call her, the Prince of 14th Street. She's like a creative musician, producer of Broadway shows, cancer survivor, world-class DJ. I mean, and this is my friend buying 5 candles. And I remember telling Red, I made it in this business. I made it. I was so excited. It was $55. I hand delivered it. Meanwhile, those candles at the time, you guys, literally, they would like burn your house down. The flame was like this big. It was so bad. We didn't know what the hell we were doing, right? But people were buying them because they wanted to support me. And I didn't think that the business was really going to happen. I quit my job on my birthday in June. I listened to George Michael, Gotta Have Faith, attached to the computer on headphones, drinking champagne. I was like, yeah, gotta have faith. Yeah. I freak out 2 weeks later. I end up getting a job on a rooftop on 46th Street as a cocktail waitress because I was afraid. And I had to wear pantyhose because I was like a dinosaur compared to the girls that were working on this club, And I was like, I was like in a mini skirt and a white shirt. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy what I'm doing. Sneaking Chick-fil-A around the corner because I was starving, so I didn't want to eat in front of them. And it was just a crazy time. So that didn't last long. We left the apartment in New York on August 31st of 2018. We went to Ecuador. They had to take me out of the apartment kicking and screaming. Okay. I was not happy to leave the city, but our lease was up and we needed a change. I had to do a fucking energy reset software download, hardware crash, like needed to do it. And Red, my partner, supported me to do it. And we went to Ecuador, we went to the house, and we fell in love with Palo Santo at the house through a person.
Yeah,
Okay.
keep going.
And so we were in the beach in Puerto Lopez, and you guys can read the story in the book, but walking down the beach and I see the smoke. It's the only shop that's lit up, and there's classical music, and the smoke is coming out, and it's nighttime, and the beach, and the waves, and the moon, and everything. And I was going there for healing because I was really stressed. I had mosquito bites all over me. I just wasn't well. And I walked in, and he asked me like why I was so stressed. Like he could tell right away. He was so intuitive, and I told him just about like, oh, what I'm gonna do with my life. And he sat me down and he taught me about Palo Santo and Guayasamín, the artists in Ecuador, about all these beautiful paintings. And we just had this amazing conversation about the Palo Santo tree and how it represents, transformation and abundance. And he taught me about his business and he taught me how he had created this ecosystem that had never existed there before. And I freaking fell in love with this guy. And he's a little tiny tree spirit. He was about 5 feet tall. And it was just like kind of love at first sight connection. Red was there and we all spent time together. We went home with the night home back to New York. We stayed in Ecuador for about, I think it was like 4 months or something. And we went back home to New York and I was gonna get a job, right? Because I was like, okay, the dream is over. What am I gonna do? Sell carpets and Palo Santo oil? Like I had no plan, it's like, the fear sets in. And at that time I was still not, I was still kind of partying, I had different objectives and goals, but I was onto something and there was something that had changed in me because things that I was doing in New York were no longer in alignment with like my soul frequency. There was something like the platonic plates of Mimi were like off, and when that happens, like I get angry and irritable and upset. And so that was kind of the beginning of the change. And honestly, we went to Jersey where my mom lived at the time for Christmas. And I was also teaching English for this Chinese company at like 3 in the morning because I had this idea to transition. And I'm smart in the back end. I'm a Virgo rising, right? Gemini, Gemini, Virgo. So in the back end, I was like, okay, I need a little balance. I need a little system. So I was teaching English to develop this revenue stream that I could do from anywhere online. And all my girls in Ecuador were doing it. And I'll never forget it. There was this episode, lesson that I was teaching called X-Ray Surprise. I was teaching the lesson. It was December 28th. I remember there was pistachio ice cream down in the refrigerator. I really wanted to eat it because this is the whole thing, because it was going to be the first. I want to plump up so I can get skinny, right? On the first. It's a whole thing that I do. And I go down the stairs, I fall down the stairs, and I break my foot in the ice. I'm outside alone in the snow in Jersey. Just alone in Jersey is enough to put somebody down. In the snow, broken leg, broken foot for like 45 minutes. Nobody found me. Red comes. I'm freaking out, crying, having a complete breakdown. My brother takes me to the hospital. I get a cast on the foot. They're like, you're going to be in the boot for 6 weeks. I had just signed a lease for an apartment that started on January 2nd on the fourth floor walk up with my two dogs on 42nd and 2nd. Thank God I was able to get out of it because it was through a friend of mine that owned the building. I couldn't go. I had to stay. So my mom helped take care of me. Red was home. We launched the Amazon store, learned about e-commerce, decided that we were going to change the name from Magic Carpets because it was Magic with a K. We switched up the logo a little bit and we went full in on Palo Santo. And that's when in 2018, when we committed to the reforestation effort, which we partnered with my mentor and my friend Dante. And since then, my whole life has been around, centered, and focused on teaching people about this plant because I'm a channel of it. And I'm not a woo person, you guys. I'm not a woo person, but there is a spirit in me that is being guided by this magical frequency of Palo Santo because I am its steward, I am its guardian, and it has something to say, and it's me. And now that Dante, rest in peace, is not gone, I have even more to say because now who he was to me is who I am to my ambassadors and my community. So that's the long answer of why Palo Santo. The short answer is because it is absolutely my 100% passion right here at this time with the knowledge that I have up to this moment.
Wow, that is a brilliant story. And you brought up so many different aspects, things that I would love to get into. One of the things is the reforestation, because
Mm,
that is one of the things that has always intrigued me about your Palo Santo. You know, I've seen it and, I'm very woo, very witchy. I've gone to all these places where it's like, have these sticks and whatever. And I was like, okay. And the fact that so many people are selling it and they have, there's so many different products. There's there's
right.
even there's even a product that is an incense where people are using the dust from cutting it to create an incense. And I
Hmm.
was like, wow, this is so wonderful. So I want
Mm.
to know, like, the reforestation, how is that going? And how did you get into that?
Sure. I mean, our even if you open our homepage of our website, it still says buy a candle, plant a tree. When we
Mhm.
launched this program in 2018 and 2016, when we launched the business, it was had no ties with self-care, yoga, meditation at all. It was only 100% about sustainability. There wasn't a yoga mat to be seen from a mile away. Though it was just a flying carpet, a Moroccan carpet. That's all we had. But that came later. But to answer your question about the reforestation, what we did for years is donate money with the percentage of sales from all of our candles and then eventually all of our products, because in the beginning we only had candles. So that's why we kept it the way that it is, just for streamlining and marketing and SEO purposes, and just because the website is indexed like that so well. But now it's all of our products. So we've only added, we haven't taken in anything away. So I don't feel really the need to change it yet. But how it works is we donate money so that the seedlings of the Palo Santo can be germinated in the nursery and then transplanted in the forest. So at the time, there was 50 hectares of protected forest in north, kind of eastern part of coastal Ecuador, about 5 hours away from our place. And there's where all the Palo Santo trees get planted about after 2 years of germinating in the nursery. As of lately, the past 2 years, I've been working directly with Dante and with my own supply of Palo Santo seedlings and planting them with my own team up and down an area of 160 miles of coastline between Puerto Lopez and San Antonio. So we're kind of doing things a little bit differently now. The thing about Palo Santo is that since it's ethically wild crafted, what that means is that there's no like farms of Palo Santo. We add Palo Santo to the ecosystem that already exists. Because what that does too is that helps refragment the forest, which has been divided into micro lots for other reasons like raising cattle, or for a very long time, Ecuador was really big in fish oil. And so they were like burn, and before they were using diesel, they were using wood to burn, right? To heat, to produce that product. So there's a lot of different forest protection agencies now. There's a lot of Palo Santo companies in Peru and in Ecuador that are certified protected by these private agencies, and that's awesome and wonderful. We have our own internal system because what makes us different is that we're there, boots on the ground, with our headquarters and factory there in Ecuador, where we gather the wood and process it ourselves. So just like you were saying, there's no waste with the Palo Santo, because what happens is we get the wood, it's divided into two piles. One is good for burning the sticks and one is good for distilling the oil. When you grind the powder to distill the oil, after you distill it, that powder is still really rich with oil and with scent, right? But it's not really good enough to distill again, at least not for our standards, right? But
Mhm.
what you can do is roll it into incense.
Yeah.
It's really good to use in like gardens, and we burn it, for
Mm.
mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So we burn that. So there's no waste in that. I would love to create a little product that was like a little like little shapes. Like you would
You
love it,
know,
hearts
okay,
or stars and stuff.
because I use a lot of incense and I love like to have little cones of it. So
Ah,
you can just light the
they're really
tip
good.
and let it go. Or discs, like the charcoal discs.
Exactly.
Or to
Exactly.
have a shape that you can put onto a charcoal disc so
Hmm.
that you get all the scent. And I have some pieces of your Palo Santo that you've given me. Lovely little notes. And this is a fantastic thing. The first one was I heart you.
Our
And
message.
yeah, and it's like it's a little message from Mimi. And I love it whenever we are set up next to each other. And before you go, you give me this, and it's just a little natural slice.
Mm.
And I keep those in my car. So I
Oh
know
yeah.
I've told you, every time I get in my car, I'm with you.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
I've been giving those out for a minute. Yes.
Yeah.
Got
And it's
mine.
yeah. And so we got some at the last Condor. And of course I have the sticks, and I can tell you this is like right next to me. There's always one of Mimi's sticks right here. And I've also noticed that in the communication lab, there were several of the condors that, as as we're talking and as things are coming up, we'll just sit and light a stick and are doing this to make sure that the whatever's being released doesn't stick. So,
Mhm.
one of the things that you said that really touched me is Palo Santo is a tree that becomes more magical after it's died.
Mm.
And with the reforestation, I'm thinking, okay, so what is the lifespan of this tree?
Mm. Good question. So it's interesting because, there's different theories on how old some of these larger trees are, a couple hundred years. The way that the Palo Santo works as far as the transformation aspect of it is that it's very rare, it's very unique. We've seen it before in the forest a few times on video and in our documentary. You can check it out, that a whole tree, including the trunk, will be quote unquote dead, right? Normally, the trunk is, the tree is healthy, and one of its branches becomes, let's call it, I don't want to use the word infested. I just want to use the word like goes through a natural process of getting eaten by termites. Little critters will come. They make kind of holes in the tree. And so that part of the branch will die off and then fall down.
It gets heavy.
It gets heavy. So the branch
Mhm.
falls down and it's right. So this is literally what Palo Santo Sacred Journey and the Palo Santo experience is about. It's we put this practice into motion. We become the tree in the forest. We shake off the branch, it falls down to the ground, and then guess what? It takes years for this essential oil to be developed. It doesn't happen overnight. And this
Mm,
is what we call the truest, most authentic expression, the highest representation of what it is the oil. This is the liquid gold. This is the medicine. It is this rich ingredient that can be used not just for smell and to make beautiful products out of, but it does, and I can't make any medicinal claims, you guys, okay? And I
Right.
don't, but it has anti-inflammatory properties. It is wonderful for asthma. It can be used for pain relief. It can be used a drop in the bathtub for sore muscles for people who like to work out like me. You know what I'm saying?
say,
Right.
I have something to say. If you are not sold on Palo Santo right now, I
Mm.
don't know what are you doing? This thing is
Um,
Exactly.
a beast. I wonder
so-
if you have the gate of surrender, the channel of surrender in your human design, because you have the natural cells. It's like you went in. If I didn't know about Palo Santo, I'm buying some now.
Well, thank you. If I wasn't doing this, and I think about this often because I'm thinking about the inevitable exit of my business, right? I'm thinking in a real CEO thought leader shoes these days, right? I've gotten out of the day to day and into the real business side.
Mhm.
And that's also opened me up to like this little tingling of like, wow, because now I'm being a big girl and I go on LinkedIn, right? And they want me to post
Mm.
on LinkedIn. They want me to do this and that, and to talk about important subjects. And I've been doing that, and it's a new space for me. But also, I would probably be building a business in some form or another. I have a dream and a vision to also offer more motivational speaking and coaching, but from a place of like, I'm not a person who can tell you how to build a brand. I did it myself. So check it out because that's what I need, is that foundation. And Maison Palo Santo, you guys, it is my spiritual awakening. So I'm not sure, although it's a business, it was sent to me for another reason. It actually saved my life. So I'm going to use these skills just like how I thought I had wasted my life in the restaurant. Because I'm like, shit. When I went to a business coaching and I went to the small business coaching thing, and they said, what's the KPIs? And I raised my hand and I was like, I don't understand. Can you explain it? And somebody said in the room, they were like, thank you very much. I was like,
Yeah.
thank you. And that was the moment too. I was like, you know what? I can be seen. I can be heard.
Yeah.
And so I want to do whatever it is. I'm not sure if it's in my human design, but I do know that my moons are in the 10th house, which is a very career focused. And I love to talk about Palo Santo. So it's,
And you're double Gemini. Hello.
It was natural sales coming through. Like you,
Gemini
one
sun,
time.
Gemini sun and Gemini moon.
yeah.
Come on. That's so
W-
much
Were you
communication.
trying?
Was I trying?
Were you trying to sell?
I don't think I need to. And I'm going to
Mm.
bring
That's what I'm
Cole in
saying.
here
It
for
was
a
just
minute. If you
all,
don't
yeah.
sell, it's an insult. Not selling is an insult, right, Cole? Let's have shout out to Cole for a minute,
Right?
right?
Look, the
And
way
But
you were
by the
talking
way,
earlier,
it is Cole Whitty of the Condor approach that we're talking
the
about.
way you were
oh
talking
yes,
earlier, the way you told story and you kept going, I was like, I wonder what it's like when you and Cole get together.
It's a Gemini thing, you know, we just keep going. And Cole is a natural storyteller, and Gemini is a natural communicator. So it just comes, and you being double Gemini, I almost wore my Gemini sweatshirt today. Like I have a hoodie, and I was just like, the thing is, the camera cuts it off so you wouldn't see the Gemini. But I was like, I felt like I really wanted to bring that out because we have so much in common as a Gemini, as Geminis.
we do. Whenever we see each other, like literally, I can feel your energy, your vibration. I know within like 150-meter square yard if Paul Mark is there. And I'm ashamed that I'm not wearing green today because for those of you watching this or listening
Hey,
to this, know that I am usually always wearing green, and the only
yeah.
person that's wearing more green than me is Paul Mark.
Dang, now that I think about it, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I always wear green. It's part of my uniform. It's part of my
That's
branding.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing
The
black.
first time I actually picked up on that.
What?
Mhm.
Like I know you wear green, but the way you just said, I'm like, oh yeah, she's always
So
wearing
we
green.
bonded. Cole actually
Yeah.
introduced us before
Uh-huh.
she came to Condor. Cole had introduced us, and when we finally, because there was a lot of phone tag that happened, and because both of us was just busy, you know,
Hey,
and
right.
when we finally did start talking, we bonded on the green thing, and it's like, oh yeah.
And that's what I love about, and that's what I loved about meeting everybody at Condor, because Condor really embodies the diversity of what I think is like it's yes, there's people that are woo, there's people that are really devoted to spiritual practices and doing the work, but also mixing in and interweaving and communicating and masterminding with people who aren't, and then all of the people in between, men and women of all ages from different countries, races. So
And
that
that's
for
what
me
real.
is
What, Les?
I'm just agreeing with like mixing in with everybody else is a part of the deal, and
Yeah.
at least in my experience.
I
Well,
just think that's what I enjoyed about it. Like the first time I went to the first event and I met all these amazing people and I was talking about Palo Santo and I had my log and I was set up outside. Nicole was one of the first people that I texted when I came back to Austin because I had met her one time at a networking event and I put her as a note. I was like, if go back to Austin, must contact. And there was like 3 people in the list and she was like the second one. And so I was like, hey, I'm back. And she's like,
Yeah,
great,
y'all
this
like
is the
soul
event.
sisters.
I was like, no, like, no. And I was like, okay,
just go
awesome.
here.
Yeah, just go here. So, yeah, thank you. And look at all these amazing opportunities that have
Mhm.
come out of that and out of just everything. And I think that, Palo Santo, actually, a really interesting fact about it that I was going to make a video. And actually, this is the first time that I'm talking about it again for a while is that Palo Santo was called Palo Bueno, is good wood. And it wasn't even the Santo until the colonizers
I
came,
knew
until
Paul
Spanish.
Mark was I
Well,
knew
I always
Paul
say,
Mark was, as soon as
listen,
you said that, I knew Paul Mark was about to lose.
The
But
camera is
Paul Mark
not
didn't
on
lose it.
me.
Paul
The
Mark didn't
camera
lose
was
it. I
not
just had to
on
say
me.
something.
But Mimi knows I
I was like,
enjoy good wood. So
Paul
let's
Mark
well, I
facial
always say,
expression
and
was
you know
like,
that
huh?
my opening line is That's what I do now with my big log of Palo Santo. I
Yo,
always say, my wood is bigger than yours. See,
hey,
people
Yeah.
love it. It's an icebreaker. So anyway, Palo Santo is Palo Bueno. It was the Spaniards that put the Santo on it because of,
Mhm.
Christianity, just like everything turns into more a religious context. But basically, it does have that holy aspect because of that transformation and because of metamorphosis. And what I am using Palo Santo to do, which I know is 100% unique, is teaching people through the experience of the journey that we do, that takes people on a guided trip through the forest, through all of the modalities that have myself helped me survive and thrive at different turning points in my life where I needed it. Yoga, meditation, sound healing, soma breath, and aromatherapy. And I bundled it all up into one dynamic sequence that I get to do now. And now other people are interested in doing it too. And I just created the ceremony track with a longtime partner in Miami who produced the music that is now available on Spotify. So no matter who you are, you can get your Palo Santo, press play on the track, take 12 minutes, and you just totally recalibrate and harmonize your systems without having to have any experience. And again, 100% creative project because I was like, how can I get new people in that have never done a meditation and keep their attention somewhat, right? But also appease my people that if they're like a shaman in Peru, like it's standing at the mountain, right? That they'll still be connected and be like, wow, that's very interesting. What high quality work. And I don't know.
Yes. You know
Yes.
what?
So,
Let's go ahead and just drink that in.
hmm.
What high quality work you do. And one of the things that got me was when Cole said that you were going to be doing the sound meditation. And I was like, Mimi's doing sound. She does Palo Santo. And so I was like, okay, let's just see. And I am always, there is a very strong skeptic in me.
mm,
I'm like,
yep.
okay, we're going to go with it and we're going to see. And it was transcendent.
Mm,
The and it's not just the choice of instruments, it's how you put it together. And so your chimes, and of course my eyes are closed, so I've never really looked at it, but your chimes are so perfect. And I would have gone into a meltdown trying to choose what chime, let alone actually pull it out and be like, okay, I'm going to put this here. It would have been too many choices for me. And that wave drum, I
mm,
absolutely love. I would have one of those if I had the space for it. And
mm,
my thing is I'm always trying to find what can I do that's compact? How can I make it smaller so I can travel with it? And I'm just when I see that and when I hear that, I'm like, yeah, this is it. And it's so funny that the other times, yeah, after the first time, I would ask Cole, is Mimi doing sound? Is Mimi doing the sound thing? Yeah.
it was so great coming there to do that. Yeah, it's my passion to hold space in that way because
Mhm.
it honestly, it's just another place where I can keep people's nervous system and calm and regulated and also somewhat entertained, for lack of a better word, so that way they can listen to my message about Palo Santo.
Mhm. Mhm. And the thing is, there are lots of people that are doing sound, and not all of them do it well. And I will sing your praises
How
Thank you,
long?
honey.
from morning to night and on into the next morning.
Mm, I'm waiting.
Because because you were so wonderful. You were absolutely so wonderful.
Thank
And
you.
and it
How
is
long have you? Go ahead.
it is just that the energy that you bring, and especially usually when people are like, okay, we have a person that's doing sound healing and they come in and they're so quiet, the fact that you are able to embody both sides of the coin so well. You come in, you're all bubbly, and it's like, and now we're going to take you down. And then
Not
when you're
quite.
Mm.
done, we're going to take you right back up. And I was like, that's my girl right there. That's it right there.
I love doing that.
Mhm.
I feel like we don't need to just be one thing. The world tries to
Exactly.
box us into some shit, and I feel like we can do other things.
Paul Mark says, I like a box, but what? Don't try to put me in one. What you said?
I don't
That
know
what
the
you said?
box that's big enough for
I
Paul Mark.
You said this. We were.
I like a box, and if you make one for me, make it pretty. I will visit it, but I won't stay there. And make it a gorgeous box. And the reason why I said that is because so my fraternity sister and we have this thing where our gifts, the box is always part of the gift. And so
Mm. All right.
I want a cute container. There are
Hmm.
lots of cute containers around here that is just like, oh, because it's cute. I don't even know what I'm gonna put in this box, but I know I need this box. You know? Or I'll see a box and it'll be like, oh, this is a Cindy box. And then I have to figure out what gift is going to go into the box because the box is part of the gift. So it's always been like that.
Well, I used your cards as
Mhm.
part of the gifts for some of our events. I put them on the pillow when people arrived. And I especially like the latest ones I got from you in the tin. They're a little edgy.
Yeah.
I've had to like to be totally transparent. I've had to take certain ones out because I know like certain events that we do. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be too much for them. They're gonna be like mad at me afterwards because they tell the truth.
They do. They really
They tell
do.
the truth, and it's kind of like, oh, like you procrast. I can't even think of what to give an example, but the energy of it is like, yep, mm-hmm,
So the Ask Paul Art deck is
yeah,
really that's like my magic 8 ball.
yeah,
What do you need to know right now? And the way to use it is to ask a question and then just pull a card. And
mm.
so some of those answers are very edgy because there is one that's like, you still thinking about that? And you can see, and you can see,
I'm about to take
and
people
No,
through
that's
like
crazy.
neurosomatic reprogramming with breath work for an hour, and it's like, so are you still doing that?
yeah, you still doing that thing?
I'm like, let's think about it for the next 90 minutes.
Well, and it's important because there are there are lots of people that will give you the all positive or the all doom and
Right.
gloom. I like to work in the nuanced spaces. There's a whole lot more space that is gray. It's not absolute black, it's not absolute white. It's a gray space. I live in the gray space or the green. Green is halfway between blue and orange, but or it's not blue and orange, blue and yellow, but there's so much more green than fully blue or fully yellow. And so I
And
want to
it's
be in
also
that
the
middle.
heart.
Yeah. And I want to be in the balancing. So yeah,
I love it.
that one in particular is like for I need an answer right now. What would Paul Mark say? And you pull that
Mhm.
out.
I love
And
them.
but talking about boxes, one of the reasons why I upgraded to the tens was because paper boxes get flimsy.
Yes.
And I was like, no, I need something that's gonna be me. And when I saw that I could get tens, I was like, that's it. That's
Yeah, it's
my
perfect.
whole vibe changed. Almost everything got moved to something that could fit in that 10, in a
I love
10.
it.
Yeah.
Amazing. I always wanted to do a Palo Santo package that was like a can of sardines and you would open
Yes.
it up.
Yeah.
In oil?
That is no.
I
No,
was
but
joking.
no, but you could do like a skin, like jojoba
Yeah.
thing if it had like one Palo Santo in it. Fun fact, you guys, Palo Santo can be used. You can boil the wood, the sticks,
Mhm.
10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, boil the sticks, throw a couple of them in your kettle, boil them up, drink it, add a little honey or lemon or chamomile tea. It's really good for respiratory health. It's really good for cold and flu, for allergies, boost your immunity. I drink it all the time. I'm like,
No.
it also reminds me like to take care of myself. You can make a little Palo Santo water with fresh mint.
So I have done that with Palo Azul.
Mm.
Are they cousins?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Palo Santo is a cousin of, it's in the bigger area, like
Mhm.
the bigger biome of science is the citrus.
Oh, okay. Yay.
Okay, but it's closest to what we would use it for. It's a cousin of frankincense as well. And the difference between, let's say, because frankincense and oud are both wood
I
trees
love
that,
oud.
yeah, well, the
Oh,
real one is like,
yeah.
this big, is like,
Mm-hmm.
10 grand. But those two also have to go through a change, but they don't have to go through a complete death, which is what makes
Right.
Palo Santo unique.
Mhm.
Because the frankincense, they bleed the tree, right? They take the knife,
Yeah.
they like scrape the bark, it oozes out, and then they take that off. And then the oud, there's a very specific insect that has to attack the center of the tree, right? And then they like sap it out, I think, or like take it out. I
Hmm.
don't know exactly the exact process, but so it's a little bit different. So that's what my mission is. It took me a while to understand what I was doing because I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when you're doing a business or, and you guys have clients and you talk to people and you make video and you create content and, sometimes it's hard to understand where you fit in, like where your voice is. And so I realized that my my purpose is very simple. And I literally make products that smell good and last long, and I make people happy. And so now the calling card, the Palo Santo sticks, they're not just mindful mementos, but I'm calling them little messengers of joy. Because
Yeah.
my greatest wish is that when people open their box or when they get their thing at an event, they
Hmm.
open it and they smile. Because that's how I've been ending every event that I've ever done or class I've ever taught for ages and ages, years and years, saying, and don't forget to keep that smile because it's the fastest way to change your day and everybody around you. And it
Ah,
also reminds me of my mom and people that say to me, like, oh, you have the best smile. And it just brings me back. It just makes me feel wholesome and full of love. And it's so simple and it's 100% free. I don't care how broke you are, you can still pull up on one corner, on the other corner of the mouth, and it's smiling when you're going through the hard times
exactly.
that is gonna bring you the most benefit because everybody can skip and dance when things are going good.
Mhm.
So
It's who
we're talking about products. Can
Yeah.
you give us a list?
And now we're talking about the meaning of life.
Can you give us a list of your products?
So we have 8 different candles, all based with Palo Santo and an additional essential oil. Our best-selling candle is our Pure Palo Santo candle. It's the only Pure Palo Santo candle on the market that supports reforestation while stimulating economies at their source in Ecuador. So it is our hero product, number one. We also have 3 different sprays. We do a Nama spray. So instead of Namaste, it's
I
Nama
have that
spray. It's
one.
awesome for our yoga studio partners. We do a Palo Santo fruit spray and also a smudging spritz, good for cleansing and energy lifting, instant energy shifting. We do essential oils that you can use on those little discs that I gifted you guys, or you can put it in
Mhm.
your diffuser. You can make your own blends with it. And you can even use our roller ball. So that's great for meditation, study, focus, personal fragrance on the go, safe for the skin, travel friendly, easy to use, general neutral, 100% inclusive, expansive, and also supports our project and mission in Ecuador. We have one luxury fragrance. I call it a botanical treasure. It is a functional perfume, also great for everyone. It is complex, all natural, safe for the body, safe for the ocean, ideal for the spirit. And all of these products come in recycled packaging, plastic free, with guided meditation directly on the box. So it's not just a product, but it is an entire self care experience that can be a gift for yourself or for somebody else. And now our main focus is our ambassador program. What we've created is basically a Palo Santo experience in a box that you can use to build your own business or to create mindful moments in your personal life. So it comes with 18 of our signature products, including our Acts of Palo Santo that have really fun, uplifting, positive messaging on it that make just great gifts under $20, right? That actually promote some sort of optimized well-being and mindfulness to the recipient. and our signature candles and sprays, custom engraved sticks, and our meditation music, and access to our private community on Mighty Networks where there's trainings and certification so that people can feel confident about using the Palo Santo. Because when you have a product that you feel confident about using and you use it in a healing setting, the people are going to receive the vibration, the message, the frequency so deeply that not only are they going to create a scent anchor between you, that product, and what you're offering, but they're also going to come back for more. People are buying these products off Amazon. So, what we can do is present another alternative by buying them either direct from our website, through one of our stockists, or through our private ambassador community, which are now popping up these products at their own events across the country and even now international. We have ambassadors in Europe and, of course, in Ecuador, and a great partner also in Morocco. We are creating an ecosystem now of products and experiences, because our signature offer is the Palo Santo experience, which is a 90-minute moving meditation that is accessible to all. You can do it from a chair, you can do it no matter who you are, where you're at. And it takes us through this journey and incorporates a group anointing with the essential oil at a very specific time through the practice, which took me years to understand. Okay, until when we really needed it. And now it is so dialed in that it drops us into deep gratitude for our life, and that we are able to, by the end of the experience, come back to become the little seed and be reborn. And also a reminder that this is something that we can do daily. It doesn't happen in an instant. So we have to redo these practices and be consistent. And yeah, so those are the products: sprays, candles, fragrance, essential oil, rollers, ambassador communities. We have a strong affiliate network as well. And my favorite thing to do is to partner with other small business owners like you guys and just talk shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all have a question.
Sure.
When did you start doing sound healing?
I started sound in like, I didn't start like playing any sound myself until 2023. I started teaching yoga in 2019, but it was always very music based. Like even my yoga classes, like it was always about landing the music, like power vinyasa. It was like right leg up, boom, like, and then the music hits, right? Like it was like the beat drops, like when it's time. That was
Beat drop
always,
yoga?
yes, like that's
What?
was so important to me, and so it was always very in there. But I didn't start, I was always like collaborating with sound people, and then I started playing the bowls for stress relief, actually. And I started playing them so I could come home and literally keep my hands busy.
Crystal or
And
Tibetan?
crystal, and then I love the
Okay.
Tibetan too, so I have a couple of those that I usually like to keep it like at booths, and those are really a fun way to get people involved too. They can like, even kids like to like take a little, bang off the side, and like they feel good. I have been inspired by people in my life, and I feel like I've taken little nuggets from people, like my friend Pavel from Noah Aeon inspired me to start my event. He inspired me in June of 2021. He inspired me to start my event. I went up to him and I said, "I'm Mimi. I want to be your friend. Invite me to something." And he
Mhm.
invited me to Imagine Music Festival. We worked it. I did a whole health wellness booth thing with him and his team. And I was like, wow, you can make this shit funner, more fun than what it is out there. I'd never
Exactly.
seen anything like that. I was like, yo, this is like for somebody like me. This is like a conscious party. I was like, okay. So now I took that and I took little bits from him. And then with Niraj from Soma Breath, who taught me about breath work, who also is a music producer, who we've connected multiple times through also Palo Santo, through my candles, because he's a
Mhm.
lover of them. And it was with and it was with all of his music and with all of the inspiration of the beats and the rhythm. And then my longtime Palo Santo partner in creating Palo Santo sticks, who I now work with as she's my producer. And she considers me one of her emerging artists.
I love that.
And so now it's just like I've taken what they've given me, what other people have given me, and this is how I coach my assistant and my team and everybody is take it, we eat it. Like I think about it like food. I'm like constantly eating, constantly
Hmm.
eating things that people are giving me. I take it, I digest it, and it comes out something different. And now I kind of own it, right? Like
It's
it's in me.
transformation. It's
It's
transformation.
transforming.
Hmm.
So,
It's also
um,
integration.
also,
Hmm.
so we'll see what's next. We'll see where it goes. We are going to do our very first breath rave on May 20. I don't want to date this, but this is in May
Okay.
coming. But yeah, we're going to do our very first breath rave, which is a combination of breath work, aromatherapy, and ecstatic dance and neurosomatic reprogramming, which is basically NLP for the body.
Love that. And
Mhm.
so you talk about going to Ecuador. How often are you going down there?
I go there about 5, 6 times a year. So right now, my mom and my brother live at our house full time, and then we go to plant trees and distill oil and do all types of Palo Santo things and visit our partners and relax and hopefully be spending more time there soon.
You moving down?
I don't I don't think I can live there full time because I still need to be here moving
Hmm.
about the cabin here in where I live currently in Austin, Texas, but we'll see. I don't know if me and my mom can be in the same zip code all the time every day. Because that's a lot. Because if you think I'm a lot, well, you guys don't think I'm a lot, but some people might think that. But there's a lot of us when we're together.
Okay,
So there's not
got
room
it.
for both. We'll have to interview her next.
So,
You-
well, it's so funny. No matter how much healing work you've done, there is
Mm.
always that d dynamic with family and, women with their mothers and men with their fathers and that whole thing of like, okay, I need to get out from under the parentage for a bit.
Well, I'm healing, with my mentor, me and Red. I believe that we are soul connected to heal the wounds of our parents.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's what we are doing. And we are both, our purpose on this planet is to break generational chains of hardship, financial, and all this for our family. And we've made
Amen.
certain, and that's what we're doing together. And it's not an easy thing to do because you have to make certain decisions sometimes. But it's
Hmm.
also as I get more mature.
We
As
mature.
I
We
get
don't age. We just mature.
as I get more mature, which by the way, I'm embracing because people they stayed out of my way before. Now they just really just don't even talk to me. So it's great. Now, it's I'm embracing the pace of my journey. That's why I
Hmm.
started this with this is the year of Mimi, not like, oh, I'm the shit. Like, no,
Hmm.
this is the year where I get to take care of myself a little bit because none of this matters if I'm not fine. And especially us high capable generators. It can be
Hmm.
you don't even know you're not fine until you completely break down.
Yeah.
And it
Take care of
and
you
it ha
first.
it happens to me. Mine happens through sometimes it's migraines, sometimes it's complete emotional, you know you know, overwhelm or whatever. We all go through it. So I'm like, "Okay, how
Hmm.
can this year be really about taking care of myself and so I can be of most service as well?" Because I do enjoy that to make people happy.
What surprising collaborations have you had, like here, in general? Like any celebrity endorsements or things like that?
Not yet. I mean, that would be awesome. If somebody's out there that would love to introduce me to their celebrities that they know, that would be great. I think that the coolest thing that I've experienced is that I get to slide in as the Palo Santo person into a lot of different places, like including we had a booth at the Dave Asprey biohacking conference where people were literally coming to me saying, "Thank you. Thank you, because I'm hacked and I need to ground my energy." I'm like, "Whoa,
Yeah,
goddamn."
damn.
We like we had and we were
Yo.
like we were a whole crew under Upper Aeon, but I got to be there. We had some Sheila Jeep people, we had the Palo Santo, and yeah, of course we had like some brain tap devices and the neurovisor and all this amazing biohacking, the methylene blue and the supplements, but I gotta be honest, according to, and I'm not going against any of my biohacking partners because I love you guys and you guys sell my products and I love you, but I'm pretty sure that if you're in the sun, if you drink water, if you exercise and you go into a sauna like every day, I think that's probably gonna give you the best, like consistently, that'll probably give you the best like health result of
Hmm.
anything. I also get the biohacking space is it's so interesting. It's fascinating. Like I've fucking met mad scientists that'll show you what we would look like if we were actually made of light. You know, and you're
Yeah,
like, holy shit, like I'm just trying to sell a couple candles over here, bro. But it's interesting because at the same time, it's like,
Um,
okay, how can we find a balance of that? Right? Because nobody's gonna come to save you. No pill, no bank. And this is, no, like nobody gave you life and nobody can take it from you. Like you are in charge of your own shit, of your own stuff. And that is the hardest thing for people to accept, including myself. So that's why I keep coming about the year of Mimi, because these amazing partnerships and collaborations that I've had the opportunity to be like the little fly on the wall and learning from these amazing people has just also reminded me that I also have something to bring to the table, right?
I love that.
And
And of course you do.
simplicity. No, and like simplicity is okay too. Because
Mhm.
sometimes, and I feel like the way that the world is now, you guys, and with AI, nobody knows if anything's real. And I love AI. I use it for all kinds of stuff in the business, and it's so great, and machine learning and all the capabilities we have and the access we have. But at the same time, there's a fatigue now that people don't know what's real or not. So I feel like the real is going to get even more real. That makes sense.
I love what you said about the simplicity because I've had many conversations just in the past few days where people are making it too hard. It's
Yeah.
like, I want to do this, but I feel like I have to do this, this, and this. It's like, no, no, take, just do the simple things, you know? And there are a lot of people who, and I've said this multiple times, people will come to me and be like, how do you meditate? Or how do I get connected like you're connected? And I was like, turn everything off and just be open. Because when people are interested in channeling, for instance, and they
Mm,
come to me for all the woo stuff,
mm.
and they're like, "Well, I don't know." I was like, "Well, have you gotten quiet?" "Well, I can't meditate." Have you gotten quiet? Because if you don't just call it something and try to make it look like what everybody else has said it looks like, if you
hmm.
can just take a quiet moment, just be in silence,
And I think
then
even, oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, and then you can actually experience what that silence feels like. And when people are like, "Well, I've got so much, I'm an empath, the people are like, I feel everything." It's like, "Well, what's yours?" "I don't know." Get quiet. Go inside. See what
I
is
never understood
yours.
that I'm an empath. Who's not?
Everybody is. So, and
Listen, if
and
somebody
you know
says that
what?
to me, I'm gonna open this booth and like be like, tell everybody because guess what?
We
It's just an excuse.
we are going to have to do a
Most people,
whole nother episode on that
I know. Don't even get
because
me started. We're gonna talk about Palo
a lot
Santo
of
still.
people use
yes,
it as an excuse to get all up in their feelings, blame their feelings and their actions on other people.
Well, to bring it back to
yeah.
Palo Santo, I
Mhm.
think if I could leave somebody here with a message with the micro knowledge that I have about this world, is that you don't need to know how to do things.
Right.
Because I got to be honest, 100%, and this will probably get me in trouble. Everything I've done, I haven't known how to do.
Exactly.
Who
We all
did?
don't. We all don't know.
Who did?
We don't know, and I feel like this urge to know how to do everything, and it's like there are different personality types. Some people like to have like listen, and that's great. I thrive on being friends with people like that. Like one of my most collaborative partners. Lindsay from Shunia that owns the yoga studio that I rent my space from to have my shipping and
Mhm.
receiving, and we do events and partnerships together. Like she's a generator Gemini too. Okay, so she's not like
Okay.
100% like this, but she's
Mhm.
more like, and it's so great. This is how, and going back, we need each other.
Mm.
Yeah.
If you need, find somebody that can help you. You don't need to know. Find somebody that knows or that can help you, inspire you to know.
Now, see, I'm a manifesting generator Gemini. So I'm
Right.
like, I'll give you an idea, let you get started on it, and then I'll come back to finish up. Yeah.
Oh, I've already moved on to the third idea. If you didn't catch up by then you know what? Forget about it.
That's how this
Because
turned into a podcast. That's crazy.
Yeah.
this has
So
been a lot of fun talking to you
Think
guys.
about it.
this is so much fun. So what dreams do you have for the future?
My dreams for the future on a business level is to be able to be 100% fully functional from my mobile device so I can be anywhere, anytime without having to think about it. That's the ultimate business vision. My personal vision is to have optimized health and feel 100% proud that I have taken care of my family the best way that I can. It's very important to me. And my dream, my big dream would be to inspire other people that haven't had the same voice, opportunities, and geographic location that I have had, because I'm a big believer in we're just born where we're at, you know? So you got to have a lot. And I feel blessed to have been, grew up in New York. One of the first pieces I used to write some creative writing stuff. And one of the first things I ever wrote was about the train in New York and how it connects people. Even if you live in East New York, if you want to get to Park Avenue, Fifth Avenue, you can do it in under 2 hours for free if you jump the turnstile. It depends. It depends how bad you want to get there.
I
It's
love
Sorry.
that. I absolutely love
Sorry.
that.
And when I went to Jersey
facts.
afterwards, when
Yeah.
my mom went to Jersey and I used to go visit,
Hmm.
I was shocked by how isolated people were
Yeah.
and how they were stuck in like
Hmm.
these little micro hellholes, like I called them. Like, how do you get out of here? You
Mm.
have
Hmm.
to have you have to have extra. So I'm not blaming it, but my dream, like that big dream, would be to create some sort of program that helped people who wanted to do something different do it, that would make it accessible to them. So it's beyond a school, it's beyond an organization. It's once again, just like Maison Palo Santo, it's going to be some sort of energy of connection and inspiration. And I know it's going to be big because that will be my legacy. And it will still all be connected to the Palo Santo in the
Are you
trees
going to
for
create a
sure.
cult?
I wonder.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I've already created a this is the movement. I have a friend, Travis, in Florida, and we did this event together and we created like this signal. We were like, Mimi, after going to because he went to a bunch of my stuff like back to back, and he was like, yes, so we have to decide what the cult's gonna be called, and we're gonna need a hand symbol. We're
Yes.
practicing.
Yes.
I'm up for
So,
it.
Mhm.
with all that, what does success look like for you?
Success looks like owning nothing and being everywhere. Not owning as far as like real estate and things like that, but physically, success is having what I need in one little bag because I don't need anything. I have everything.
Mm.
I don't need anything. And that is
That
to
is
me
our
ultimate
soundbite.
success.
What's coming up next for you?
Loads of events, more distillation of Palo Santo, retreats, and building community and identifying and breaking out from behind the business and coming back to who is Mimi Dara, who is Mimi D, my why did I do this? And realizing that I can't hide behind a logo anymore. I have to be me if I really want to inspire people and take a stand in the things that I believe in and fully accept that I'm not perfect. I'm not spiritual robes person. I can be, but that's not me. I want to be me. And that's why I said I'm the year of Mimi, because I have a message that I've been delivering and I want to continue doing it. And so staying flexible and staying grateful and enjoying the process, which is something that I've been guilty of not doing, of not seeing what's happening and letting that get me down. So really enjoying the process and looking at life from a bird's eye view, kind of as an observer, coming back to that true to the true yoga, right? To becoming the observer.
The
Yeah.
condor view.
If you could give people in our audience permission to do something, what would it be?
If I could give people permission in your audience to do something, I would say be afraid. Don't be afraid to hear no. Or, that's not really a permission. I mean, it's so juicy what I have in me to say for this one, because it would be, I give you the permission to not care what other people think about the life path that you've chosen, because we do make choices. So wherever you are in your life right now, it is a result of the choices you have made. But what choice can you make going forward is up to you. But you're not here by accident, right? Sometimes, I mean, yes, in a traumatic experience or whatever, some people are put into situations by accident. But the majority of us are in a life that we've created by choices we've made or that we didn't make. So please make that choice and move on, because, as long as we're alive, we're good. We are so, so good. And there's still another opportunity. Every day I still wake up, and this is how I know that I'm still on the right path. Because if you wake up passionate and excited about what you're going to be doing, and don't get that fucked up with, damn, I got all this shit to do. That's okay to feel like that, right? It's okay to feel tired and overwhelmed and bored sometimes with the mundane tasks. But if you don't wake up and feel passionate about what your big vision is for your life, then please, you have the permission to change it. And you don't and do it quietly. Just do it. Do it until you're ready to tell other people. And you don't need to go online and be like, yesterday I was a crack addict and today I'm a millionaire. No, everybody has their own rhythm and cadence of how they do things. I'm learning mine now. This is part of it. Thank you for being part of my rebirthing process today. What day is it? Who knows? But I feel reborn after this. This is like a beautiful session. My God. I had a
Do
great
it
time talking to you.
now.
Do
Do
it
it now.
now.
Do it good. Make those choices like you should.
Yeah.
Shut up. Oh my
Right
God.
now. Do it good.
Those choices just like you should. Oh my God. I will never, ever, ever forget that. That is
You know,
so
I
good.
I have often said that anytime we start a project, we should start with do it now, do it good.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, yep. Because it's all happening in divine timing for our highest good always.
Hmm.
What a gift. That is my mantra for
Exactly.
the month that was given to me by my dear mentor, Dr. Lynn Midgow. And when I get upset or stressed, I pause, I take a breath, and I say, what a gift.
Hmm. What a gift. And what
What
a
a
gift
gift.
you are.
You.
You are a gift to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
So thank you. Thank you, the audience, for joining us in the portal. Please like and follow so you can find out when we have more new content. Check out our links in the description, and we'll have Mimi's links there as well. Share this with a friend, especially if you enjoyed it, and reach out to us if you have any questions or topics you want us to discuss at thepermissionportal@gmail.com, or just put it down in the comments. Just ask us something in the comments. We'll look for it. And remember,
The portal is always open.